Hello learners, I am Dr. Jagpreet Kaur from Department of Education, Punjabi University, Patiala. Welcome to this session on gender and society. In this session, we will discuss the concept of gender and society along with gender equity and gender equality. We'll also describe the cause and types of gender equality in India along with the role of Indian Constitution in providing gender equality. Gender in society. A gender equal society is that type of a society wherein both men and women are considered as equal members of the society and they are provided with equal opportunity to participate in all kinds of social activities as per their own interest. In addition, they exercise equal political, economical, and cultural benefits and share responsibilities. These are the manifestations of the society in which the human rights of men and women are equally respected. Women who desire an active role in society may participate in activities of their own choice, while men could enjoy fulfilling home and community life. Therefore, a gender equal society is a society that is made up of men and women as equal partners. The next concept is gender equity. The terms gender equality and gender equity are related terms, but they have entirely different meanings. The words seem similar, but the definitions and practical usage are different and need to be understood in the current context of social justice. Gender equality means equality between men and women, irrespective of the gender, race, language, religion, and caste, etc. It does not imply that male and female are same, but it implies that their rights, benefits, and opportunities are independent of their gender. The term gender equity refers to the fairness of treatment for males and females as per their own needs. This may include treating them in a similar or different manner, but which may be considered equivalent in terms of their rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. As we can see, equality is the end goal and gender equity is the means to get there. Next term is gender equality. Gender equality is the key to sustainable development. As a result, it is not just the concern of half of the world's population, rather, it is a human right, a concern for all of us, since no society can develop economically, politically, or socially by marginalizing half of its population. We must leave no one behind to ensure inclusive, sustainable development, which can be realized only when all human rights, such as gender equality, are protected, respected, and fulfilled. Ensuring the development of a world in which we live, all people, regardless of their gender, race, religion, age, disability, or sexual orientation, should have an equal opportunity to participate in all areas like political, social, and cultural activities of their country and achieve their objectives. Next are the Sustainable Development Goals. Particularly, will focus on the Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which focuses upon achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls. Avoiding all forms of discrimination against women and girls is not only a basic human right but also crucial to speed up the process of sustainable development. It has been confirmed that empowering women and girls has several effects that helps to foster economic growth and development across the broad. In addition, women and girls everywhere must have equal rights and opportunity and be able to live free of violence and any kind of discrimination. Women's equality and empowerment is not only one of the 17 sustainable development goals but also is integral to all dimensions of inclusive and sustainable development. It may be mentioned here that directly or indirectly all SDGs depend on the achievement of this fifth sustainable development goal of achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. Targets to be achieved by means of sustainable development goals by 2030. Following targets have been set forth for achieving by means of sustainable development goals by the year 2030. First is ending all sort of gender discrimination against females all across the globe. Second is eliminating all types of gender violence against females in all the places, including sexual trafficking and any type of mistreatment. Then, ending all those traditional practices against women, such as child and early marriage and female genital mutilation. Recognizing and valuing care and household work through various provisions and equal responsibility within the household and the family as well. Ensuring equal participation of women and providing equal opportunities for leadership across various levels in various aspects of life. Then, ensuring universal access to sexual and reproductive health and reproductive rights, carrying out various reforms in order to give women not only equal rights to resources, ownership, and control different forms of property, finances, and resources as per the national laws, enhancing the use of different forms of technology to empower women, formulating workable policies and appropriate legislation for promoting gender equality and the empowering women at all levels. So these were the focus points of the fifth Sustainable Development Goals. Next, we'll discuss the history of gender equality. If we look into the history of past years, we can see the movement towards gender equality in the wider society, especially in Western countries, which began with the suffragette movement of the late 19th century and sought to allow women to vote and hold elected offices. Next is the concept of gender inequality. In Indian society, even in the 21st century, the birth of a boy is celebrated on a grand scale, and no such celebrations are done in case a girl is born. This indicates the preference for a male child in Indian scenario, and this is the main reason for killing of girls before or after their birth. In case the girl child survives, there are different ways in which she is discriminated throughout her life. The Indian belief system treats women as equivalent to a goddess, but she is seldom treated as a human being. Indians worship goddesses but discriminate against their own daughters. Ours is a society with double standards as far as the way we treat girls is concerned. What we preach and practice is totally opposite. There is dire need to understand the concept of gender inequality and find some plausible solutions to eliminate gender inequality across all spheres of life. Next is definition and concept of gender inequality. The term gender is a social and cultural construct that indicates the roles and behaviors expected from men and women in a particular society. On the contrary, the term sex is a biological and physiological in nature, which signifies men and women, since male and female are born with their sex already determined. The term gender refers to the power structure between males and females within any society or culture, and generally men are treated to be superior as compared to women. Hence, gender can be understood as a social and man made construct, whereas sex is a biological characteristic which is determined by the time human beings are born. Next are the causes and types of inequality in India. The main cause of gender inequality in Indian society may be attributed to its patriarchal setup, wherein males hold the power and females are generally excluded. Female sociologist Sylvia Welby viewed patriarchy as a structure of social system and its practices wherein males try to dominate and exploit females and are given an upper hand in the power relationship. Women are being exploited in the Indian society since time immemorial. The patriarchal mindset and the system has its roots in the religious beliefs and social customs in Indian society, whether it is Hindu, Muslim, or any other religion. Next are the patterns of inequality. We observe various types of patterns in gender inequality in our society, which may be political inequalities, economic inequalities, educational inequalities, sexual and domestic violence against women, and the legal inequalities. Next are the examples of gender inequality which we come across in society around us, that is infant life expectancy in terms of educational inequality, illiteracy of females, economic independence, violence against women, sexual assault and cases of rape. Then in some societies female genital mutilation is done, child marriages are common, human trafficking is common, representation in government. These are the different examples of gender inequalities we come across in our society. Next, we'll discuss the gender roles and development. A gender role is a set of social and behavioral norms that are generally considered appropriate for either a man or a woman in a social or interpersonal relationship. These roles are the expectations regarding proper behavior, attitudes, and activities of males and females. They are obvious in the way we work and in how we react to others. Gender roles in the society are gendered in nature. They are cultural as well as personal and determine how males and females should think, speak, dress, and interact within the context of society. John Money and colleagues in 1954 used the term gender role for the first time while conducting a study of intersex individuals when they were trying to explain the manner in which such individuals identified themselves as a male or a female, though no clear cut biological differentiation existed. Generally, following factors play an important role in determining the gender role preferences of a person's. Two types of factors are there: prenatal factors and postnatal factors. Next is the concept of gender bias. Gender bias is one of the many forms of biases that exist in any society. This is believing a certain gender to be superior to another, and discriminating on the basis of this belief can be called as gender bias. This is because societies consist of people who have multiple identities of sex, gender, sexuality, religion, race, caste, class, community, and so on. And one person can suffer a bias or enjoy a privilege at many levels. Next is the concept of gender bias as prevalent in Indian society. Attaining gender justice is not an easy task in the Indian context. From time immemorial, a girl child has been considered as an unwanted entity and a burden whom the parents would not mind doing away with. Discrimination against women begins even before her birth. Hence, the gruesome evils of female feticide and infanticide proved that the world could be brutal to women. Though the Indian constitution provides equal rights and privileges for men and women and makes equal provision to improve the status of women in society, still equality of opportunities and rights are not guaranteed to them. Orthodox value system, low level of education, more household work, lack of awareness, no proper guidance, low mobility, lack of self confidence, no family support are some of the factors that create gender bias in our society. Furthermore, other important causes of gender bias, such as poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, social customs, beliefs, and anti female attitudes, are also prevalent in Indian society. Next is the concept of gender stereotyping. Gender stereotyping are the general characteristics of an entire group based on gender. While gender stereotypes have been popularly perceived as having negative connotations, they can also have positive ones as well. Gender stereotyping is defined as overgeneralization of characteristics, differences, and attributes of a certain group based on their gender. They create a widely accepted judgment or bias about certain characteristics or traits that apply to each gender. If a man or a woman act differently from how their gender is assumed to behave, gender stereotypes are dangerous because they might create unequal or unfair treatments to a certain person who chooses to defy people's assumptions about his or her gender. The most common gender stereotypes can be in the form of personality traits, or domestic behaviors, or occupations, or physical appearance of the individuals. Next is the role of Constitution of India in gender equality. The Constitution of India grants equality to women and also empowers the state to adopt measures in favor of women for equalizing the cumulative socio-economic, education and political disadvantage being faced by them. For example, Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, Article 15 of the Constitution, Article 15(3) of the Constitution, and various prenatal diagnostic techniques. These all are meant for the for bringing about gender equality in Indian society. So these are the various references that can be further consulted. So, in this session, we have discussed the gender equality, the gender equity, gender inequality, gender bias, and the related terms, along with the role of Indian Constitution uh, in bringing about gender equality in Indian society. Hope you enjoyed this session, and this session will be helpful to you. Thank you.